I'm Emma, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Jamie.
Hi, everyone. It's great to have you here again. Today's episode is going to be one of our favorites. It's about storytelling. Stories are everywhere in books, movies, conversations, marketing, culture, even in how we think and remember.
Exactly. Storytelling isn't just entertainment, it's a superpower for communication. Whether you're giving a presentation, preparing for IELTS, or just chatting with friends, stories make your message unforgettable.
So today, we're diving deep into the art and science of storytelling, how it shapes our emotions, connects people across the world, and helps you become a more confident, expressive English speaker.
Part 1. Why Stories Matter. Jamie, have you ever noticed how we remember stories better than facts?
Absolutely. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I still remember the stories my grandmother told me as a child. Every detail, every smell, every feeling.
That's the magic of storytelling. Research shows that our brains are wired for stories. When we listen to one, different areas of the brain, language, emotion, memory, and even movement all light up together.
Yes, it's like the brain turns into a movie theater. If I say, she ran through the rain, her shoes splashing on the wet pavement, your mind doesn't just hear the words, it sees it. You might even feel the chill of the rain.
Exactly. That's why stories are unforgettable. They don't just inform us, they transport us. They make us feel something, and that feeling helps us remember and connect.
That's why teachers, leaders, and even marketers use storytelling. It's not manipulation, it's communication at its most human level.
Part 2. The science behind storytelling. Here's something fascinating. When we hear a story, our brains release chemicals. Cortisol helps us focus, dopamine makes us feel excited and curious, and oxytocin builds empathy and trust.
So stories literally change our brain chemistry. That's why when someone shares a powerful story, we don't just understand them, we feel with them.
Yes, it's why we cry during movies or feel inspired after hearing someone's success story. It's not logic, it's emotion and empathy at work.
And for English learners, that's powerful too. When you tell stories, you practice vocabulary, sentence flow, tone, and emotion, all at once. You're not just memorizing English, you're living it.
Part 3. The elements of a great story. Let's break down what makes a story truly captivating. Think of it as a recipe. Every story needs a few key ingredients.
Okay, I'm ready. What's ingredient number 1?
Curiosity. Great stories make people ask, what happens next? You build that by creating suspense or hinting at something unexpected.
Like in movies, when you hear, "but little did they know," it instantly makes you lean forward.
Exactly. Curiosity keeps your audience engaged. Ingredient 2, emotion. The best stories make us feel joy, fear, pride, sadness, hope. Without emotion, even perfect grammar feels empty.
So true. If you just say, "I was happy," it's okay. But if you say, "My heart felt light and I couldn't stop smiling," suddenly your listener feels it too.
Beautiful example. Ingredient 3, details. The more sensory your story, the more alive it feels. Instead of, "it was a hot day," try, "the air felt thick and heavy, and my shirt clung to my back as the sun burned above."
I can feel that heat already. It's all about painting pictures with words.
Exactly. Then we have conflict. Every great story needs a challenge, something to overcome. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Even small struggles make your story relatable.
Right, because without conflict, there's no growth. And without growth, there's no story.
And finally, the message, what your story means. It could be something as simple as never give up or kindness matters. That's what stays in people's hearts long after the story ends. Part 4. How to tell stories that connect. Jamie, one mistake many learners make is thinking they need to sound like professional speakers. But the truth is, the best storytellers sound real.
Exactly. Authenticity beats perfection every time. People don't connect with perfect grammar, they connect with real emotion.
So, how can our listeners practice that?
Here are a few tips. 1. Use your natural rhythm. Pause where it feels right. Don't rush. 2. Vary your tone. Whisper in moments of suspense and brighten up when something exciting happens. 3. Make eye contact, if speaking face-to-face. Connection happens through eyes and energy. 4. Practice descriptive language. Try describing emotions with action, not just adjectives.
Those are brilliant. And remember, storytelling isn't just speaking. You can write your stories too, in a journal, a blog, or even an IELTS Part 2 answer.
Exactly. In IELTS, when the examiner says, describe a memorable experience, you're not just giving facts, you're painting a story with a beginning, middle, and end.
Part 5, the secret structure of stories. Jamie, let's go deeper. Every powerful story, from movies to TED Talks, follows a structure. It's called the story arc.
Yes, it usually goes like this. 1. The setup, introduce your situation. 2. The challenge, something goes wrong or changes. 3. The climax, the big turning point or decision. 4. The resolution, what you learned or how it ended.
Exactly. Even short IELTS stories can use this. For example, last year I got lost in a new city. I felt nervous at first, but then I asked a local for help. She showed me around and we became friends. That experience taught me to stay calm and open to people.
Perfect. It's short, emotional, and ends with a lesson. That's the storytelling formula in action.
Part 6, common mistakes to avoid. Jamie, let's talk about what not to do when telling stories in English.
Yes. Mistake 1, telling without showing. If you just say, I was scared, it's flat. Show fear instead, like my hands were shaking and my voice trembled.
Mistake 2, too many details. Don't describe every tree or every minute. Focus on what moves the story forward.
Exactly. Mistake 3, not connecting it to a bigger idea. Even a simple story about missing the bus can become meaningful if you connect it to patience, resilience, or timing.
Part 7, why storytelling makes you a better English speaker. You know, Jamie, I think storytelling might be one of the best ways to actually learn English.
I agree. When you tell stories, you naturally use tenses, transitions, and emotional vocabulary all in context. You're not just memorizing grammar rules, you're living them.
Exactly. And because stories come from your real experiences, you remember the words more easily.
Plus, stories help build your confidence. You stop worrying about mistakes and start focusing on connection. That's when real fluency begins.
Part 8, the power of personal stories. Jamie, what's one story from your life that changed how you see things?
Maybe when I failed my first big exam. I was devastated, but it taught me humility and discipline. Later, that experience helped me encourage my students who were struggling.
That's beautiful. And see, that's what makes a story powerful. It's honest, emotional, and full of growth.
Thank you. What about you?
Mine would be the time I moved to another country. I was scared, shy, and barely spoke the language. But those awkward conversations turned into my greatest teachers.
That's powerful. Your story is your teacher.
Part 9, the takeaway. So what have we learned today?
That storytelling isn't just about words, it's about connection. When we tell stories, we build bridges between languages, between people, and between hearts.
Exactly. Stories make your English more natural, your ideas more memorable, and your communication more human.
And the best part? Everyone has stories worth telling, including you.
Part 10, English Pro Space Challenge. So here's your challenge for this week. Think of one small story from your life, something that made you laugh, learn, or grow. Then tell that story in English. You can write it, record it, or even share it in the comments. The key is express yourself. Don't worry about perfection.
We'd love to read your stories and maybe even feature some of them in a future episode.
Thank you so much for joining us on English Pro Space.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, every time you tell a story, you're not just learning English, you're shaping the way people see the world.
Beautifully said, Jamie. Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and keep telling your story. See you soon on English Pro Space, where your voice matters.